Asheville has long enjoyed a reputation as an artist community. From the craftsmen who worked on the Biltmore estate to the painters who found refuge at Black Mountain College, Asheville's identity is inseparable from its art. David Huppert explores how the arts continue to pump new blood into Asheville's culture and economy.
It's all about the uniqueness factor. That's the key to Asheville, is the local entrepreneurs. People come here. It's like the Wild West. We're Western North Carolina.
By the mid-1980s, John Cram was already a successful gallery owner. New Morning Gallery honored Asheville's history of craftsmanship and featured affordable items from across the country. By the end of the decade, Cram was ready to expand and open another gallery. He set his eyes on downtown Asheville.
They were giving the property away in downtown Asheville, pretty much. It was pretty inexpensive. People didn't have faith in our town. Downtown Asheville was 90% empty. When the city started paying a little bit of infrastructure attention, there was all these letters to the editor saying, why waste money on downtown?
With a little encouragement from a friend and fellow gallery owner, Cram doubled down on downtown and decided to open a gallery featuring local and southeastern art.
She said, well, why don't you take your building and make it into an art gallery? And I said, well, maybe someday. She says, well, why don't you do it now? So I got hold of an architect, and it just got away from us. It got very extravagant.
Blue Spiral 1 opened on New Year's Day 1991 and laid the foundation for downtown's revitalization.
We started here, and the rest of it is like dominoes. It just keeps going. You know, one person sees someone else's success or excitement, and it just happens. And what did you buy today?
I bought a very small cup by one of the artists here.
I saw you looking at Micah Sherrill's work.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
his dad is a very famous artist named Michael Sherrill.
Really?
Cram is widely credited with helping downtown Asheville regain its former vitality. The success at Blue Spiral 1 inspired other business and gallery owners to open shops downtown. And although each gallery owner is theoretically competing for business, they believe there is enough room for everyone as long as the region continues to grow as an arts destination.
The guy down the street says, I love how much advertising you spend, because he gets great foot traffic. I love that he's there because it kind of validates the street as a destination.
Today, it's nearly impossible to walk around downtown Asheville without passing a gallery or craft store. The arts have become one of Asheville's biggest tourist attractions, and you can't have an arts community without artists.
What's coming along in Asheville these days is that, you know, this is an aging part of this town, including me, that now we're looking towards the River District, where the young folks have opened up their studios and have some galleries that are opening up down there. It's very vibrant, very wacky at times. There's some really interesting spaces, very raw, very immediate.
Randy Schull and his partner Hetty Fisher converted this former textile warehouse into a 20,000-foot sprawling studio space, home to 15 different artists. Today, Pink Dog Creative anchors one end of Depot Street in what's known as the River Arts District.
It has been the industrial area of Asheville for a long, long time. Artists have been putting their studios in buildings here because it was affordable, when it wasn't affordable in other parts of town. And you could make noise down here because it's still industrial. So you could grind and sand and pound and nobody complained. It's become a really vital part of Asheville in and of itself.
To a large degree, downtown is now full of restaurants, galleries, and retail. And I think people are kind of yearning for the experience of art on a deeper level than just seeing it as an object for sale. I think they want to make connections with artists. And I think that's what we offer in the River Arts District is to be able to make connections with people who are coming through and for them to see what we do in the context of how we do it.
The connection between the value of art and commerce has always been a slippery slope. As unseemly as it might sound, there is a business to art, just as there is an art to business. And Asheville's art scene is directly tied to its real estate market.
We bought the building during one of the biggest financial collapses and real estate collapses of the last 50 years. So the price was really very good for us. So it's kind of a new paradigm that, and if an artist owns a building, chances are it's not going to be gentrified and become something else. And there's so many communities in this country in particular that where artists have come in, transformed neighborhoods and made communities out of them, and then the next level, the next layer of retail comes along and changes it into something else, and the artists have to leave and perhaps transform another area.
Shull estimates there are 14 artist-owned buildings in the River Arts District, enough to ensure affordable studio space for the near future. The Asheville Area Chamber of Commerce recognizes the cultural and economic impact that will have for the city.
The arts are part of Asheville's economic development plan. We want to make sure that we're supporting the growth of arts and culture in this community because we see it as a significant component of a strong economy. And it's not just quality of life. I know it's quality of life in most places. It's more than quality of life here. It's also business.
Kit Kramer believes the arts are a pillar of Asheville's culture and economy.
I have a board member who is an artist, and she told me when she started painting 8 years ago, there were 30 artists in the River Arts District. There are now 180. When you go and look, especially if you go over to Pink Dog Creative, that was a warehouse. It had 2 low-paid employees working there, and now the place has been completely redone. It's like an arts incubator. They're creating capital investment that is influencing everything in the area around it. So that type of thing that's hardcore economic development from my perspective.
Not long ago, downtown Asheville was deserted, and the River Arts District was an industrial zone near the train tracks on the western edge of town. When John Cram opened Blue Spiral 1 in 1991, the exhibit featured the work of a young artist named Randy Shull. 20 years later, Asheville has reclaimed its identity as a community for artists, by artists.
What we've tried to do here is make a world-class statement that says, you know, what we have here at Pink Dog is this really amazing place that's kind of elevating the spirit of what Asheville has to offer.
For the second year in a row, American Style magazine has recognized Asheville as the best small city arts destination in the country.